A metalhead, or someone who listens to and usually plays metal music, is known by the masses as a rebellion, a menace, and a talentless musician. It isn't necessarily true that a metalhead isn't rebellious or can't be a menace. However, the music is far from being talentless. Metal music is more than just growls and screams. The structure of the music is built around the same scale structure and modes as classical music. The fight that a metalhead will go through to defend the music he represents, and just the music genre of the lifestyle and the fashion style emerge. These are to name but just a few things that metal has to offer. On Friday, February 13, 1970, heavy metal music was introduced to the world by Black Sabbath's self-titled debut album. And for the following 8 years, Black Sabbath would be on the top of all music charts, producing an album a year, win the hearts of millions, and influence the next generation of musicians. While some people were completely satisfied with the new genre of music that metal music was emerging, others were convinced that it was just noise and not music at all. Aside from the darker lyrics, the hype that a musician would show on stage, and the distortion purposely given to the music to give it that more raw feeling. Metal is just simply a modern classical music. For example, the song Mr. Crowley, one of Black Sabbath's most famous songs. If you were to slow it down, it would have the same similarities to Beethoven's 7th Symphony 2nd movement. Both Mr. Crowley and Beethoven's 7th are in the same key, they're in the same modes, and they use the same scale structures. The difference is metal is sped up with that added distortion, and classical music uses acoustical instruments with a slower speed to build up emotion since it does not have lyrics, such as an opera or a metal. For many years to follow, Black Sabbath would represent the roughness and rawness that music could bring, and that no other music had before. Black Sabbath was in fact the first band to display various code that would become the foundation of all heavy metal. Black Sabbath would go on to influence musicians and create bands such as Testament, Iron Maiden, Exodus, and even Metallica. Metallica, alongside Black Sabbath, would be the next big influential band. Between the two bands, there was so much controversy in the public scene that they were trying to ban the actual music genre of heavy metal. While America never actually banned metal musicians and the genre, they were banned in parts of Asia and Europe, but that's another topic. America would go on to try to sue metal music for the lyrics and the influence it had on the younger generations, and again, failed to do so. The main problem that society had and still has with metal musicians and their music is the lifestyle and fashion sense. Men with long hair, women with mohawks, torn jeans, leather, boots, patches, and an attitude to match. This would represent individuality and politics and rebellion, which America did not want. It was an attitude and fashion style that would create the music genre of punk. These would create bands such as Black Flag, The Clash, Sex Pistols, Plasmatics. Where metal was more about the emotion and about the music, punk was more about the rebellion and to give their voice on political situations and opinions, which they did through their lyrics. All of this with growling and screaming, torn clothing, mohawks, rebellion, the complexity and emotions that music can sometimes bring can sometimes be lost. However, when you go to the core of the music, the heart and the soul, and you can feel the honest blood and sweat and tears that these musicians have to go through to be considered music at all, is amazing. It has been 41 years since the release of Black Sabbath's Black Sabbath, and 28 years since Metallica's Kill 'Em All albums, and metal is still one of the most controversial genres of music to date. With bands such as Black Sabbath and Metallica, the punk music scene, and raw emotions, music will be ever changed. Metal isn't just girls and screams. It is a talented music influenced by the classical era, an emotional way to express oneself, and a lifestyle that will be changed for many, many years to follow.